Hello again, I'm here and I'm going to be talking you through my investment portfolio. But yeah, so in this video, I'm going to be talking you through my portfolio and why maybe I've done certain things, what I'm planning on doing, and just giving you an insight as a new investor, especially if you want to get into it. I'm here to try and help you. So, yeah, to it. So, investing. This is about me. So like I said, I've been invested for 4 months, not long since October, and as you'll see, my portfolio is doing all right. It was doing quite well. We're in a bull market, meaning that we're in a market that's quite bullish, means it's growing quite quickly, but I still see that I've done quite well. And yes, I've invested for 4 months and it's doing all right, which you'll see in a second. One thing about investing is I'm good with money and budget allowing me to invest monthly. So I've always been someone who's good with money and like holding money. And for me, I think putting it into a bank account was always a good thing. But then I learned about investing and realized that if I actually invest the money instead of putting it in a bank, I have the chance of growing it. So that's one thing as an investor you want to do. If you want to grow your money, then actually invest it into the stock market or other assets that you can put it into. So like I said, I'm good with money. Like that's what I wanted to invest. I'm good with money, but I want to see that money grow. So why I'm invested, grow money. I just want to grow money. I think having it in a bank is all right, but at the same time, it's not really doing much. So for me, it's what's the point of letting it sit there? It's not doing anything. Like you can have your savings, yeah, but if your money's not working for you, then you're always gonna be stuck not having much and retiring at a terrible age, which you don't want to do. Like you'll see in a sec, I want to retire earlier. So another, I want to become financially free. So by the age of 50, I want to be retired. I want to have grown my investment account to at least, my goal's a million, which is a high goal, but 500k minimum I want to grow it to, allow me to pay myself at least 20 to 30,000 pound a year, but the money would still be in my investment account, so it'd still be growing even though I'm taking it out monthly to pay myself. So I wouldn't take a bunch out, like 20 grand out like straight away. I'd actually just come up with let's say 2 grand a month, pay that into my account to put, like withdraw it from the account, but everything else is still in there, compounding and still growing in money. So I'm not just gonna run out of money. I'm just gonna still gonna be growing, but I'm just gonna pay myself monthly and invest it into whatever else I want to invest in, like houses. And like I just said, retire by 50. That's my goal. I'm invested because I want to retire early. I don't want to wait till I'm 65, something like that, to retire and work whilst I'm old. So yeah, 45 would be the perfect age, but 50 is like the max I want to retire by. So how I'm invested, let's start off. I'm invested in Trading 212 and Coinbase for whatever I'm going to get into. So ETFs, I'm working towards getting my portfolio to 50% being in the ETFs, and ETF is kind of like let's use as an example as it's one company, but it tracks all the companies in a certain sector, whether it be the whole market, the SP 500, which tracks the top 500 companies in the market, iShares Global Clean Energy, which tracks the top clean energy renewable sources companies, and it returns annually around 10%, around that. So you'd be looking to gain 10% on your money yearly from just investing in ETFs. So 50% of mine is going to be in ETFs. It's currently about 45%, though I've just got to invest a bit more into it and sort it. So individual stocks, about 30% of mine is my investments are going to also be 25 to 35 actually. 25 to 30 is going to be in individual stocks like Apple, ones that I believe will grow that bit extra every year instead of just having these ETFs that grows 10%. I want that bit of extra if I can get. It's a big jump, but around 10% annually from the individual stocks too. So making it like 20% a year from the ETFs and the individual stocks, that would be perfect, but it would be very difficult. I'm expecting 10% a year either way, but individual stocks, I'm also investing in those as well. In crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the two that I'm invested in, and I use Coinbase for that. That's a bit of my portfolio, and if I gained a lot in that, I'll just put it straight into ETFs. So yeah, that's how I'm invested. And disclaimer, when I show you my portfolio, do not copy my stocks. Don't just think, oh, he's showing that, so I'm just going to copy his whole portfolio. Every investor has certain stocks, certain things they want to do, so don't just copy mine. Invest how you want to actually invest. Do your own research. Don't just jump into anything just because someone says so. So from here, let's get into my actual portfolio. So here you can see my portfolio. Here you can see my account is currently at £2,158.39. I've invested £1,679.63 and gained £478.73 from that since October, and it's grown. Well, that just jumped. Where is it? So at 26%. It's a 26% currently, and I've gained that much now. And here you can see all my stocks, which I'll talk through in a second. Here, you don't just ignore whatever's over here. That's just there because it's highlighted this stock. But yeah, so my portfolio, my account value is that much, £2,120. So I've got the extra free funds. That's why it's different here to over here, because that's not invested. You can, when you start investing, you can have spare cash just in case anything comes up and you want to invest into something. But I'm going to keep compounding, dollar cost averaging, and putting my money in every month. So having spare cash, I'm not too bothered about. If I just want to invest in something, I'll just add extra money, but it depends what you really want to do. So I'll talk about pies in a second as well, but this is my portfolio. So AMD, I've this many shares, not much, only like £16 in it, not much at all. Over time, I'm going to be adding a bit more to that, but it's not something that I'm going to be like heavily focused on. Apple, I use everything Apple. My phone's Apple. What I'm showing you this on is Apple. There's no point not investing in something I believe in, and that will be big in the future, especially if they put out an Apple car, which would be amazing. Applied Materials, that's something that recently hit all-time highs, and luckily I got into that before that happened. I've only got that many shares, but I want to grow that and at least have £20 to £30 put in each month as it grows. So it's like getting that dollar cost averaging. Bitcoin ETP, this just tracks literally Bitcoin. CCIV, this is a company that is not actually like, oh, it's a thing. It's still waiting for a merger, so if the merger doesn't go through, this could easily just drop all the way down. So it's not the safest thing, but I believe the merger will happen, so I'm invested into it quite a bit, and I've gained quite a bit on top of that as well. eBay, not much I can say. I've only got one share, but I'm going to be investing a lot. I have a lot of faith in eBay. They've got great, if I go on to it actually, you can't see it as what I'd see on Yahoo, but it went down in 2018, but since then it's been growing a bit. And I know at the end of 2020 they had a big order amount. I've said it in a video recently. The assets and liabilities, the asset is higher, so the debt to assets is about that much. So they've still got that bit of profit left over as well. And yeah, so I believe in them. I think they've still got a lot of space to grow, especially with the future of everything going to online, especially with being in the coronavirus as well. There's a lot of space to grow for online businesses. Like they said, at the end of the quarter, they had a lot of orders. So that's just going to keep growing, especially when it comes to other occasions. Christmas again, this year, 2021, could grow massively again. But yeah. So here's iShares Global Clean Energy, iShares S&P 500, and Leicester and Vanguard. Those are my 3 ETFs that I'm holding. And as you can see, I've got quite a bit in those compared to other stocks. And those are what I'm going to be holding for the next how many years. I want to keep those. I believe in those, so I'm going to hold them. Marathon Pattern and Riot Blockchain, they are Bitcoin miners and basically track them. So they've got good growth gains on them. So this one 128%, this one 200, and I've gained quite a bit on it, just putting a little bit in. But I've got a few shares, so hopefully it keeps going up. I'm just going to hold that for a bit until I feel like selling. And when I do sell, I'm just going to re-put it into the ETFs or things like eBay, which I think has a lot of space to still grow. Energy, which is down, but it's another one I think has potential to grow. You can't see it a lot here, but it has a slow growth. Through the year, it was growing as well. It's basically a company that provides energy in the US to people, families, houses. And I think they have a lot of goals. They have a lot of things they're going to achieve. So it's something I trust in, especially with the global like clean energy becoming a thing. It's a good investment in my eyes, especially being like, where is it? Does he say that? Well, it's one of the top like businesses providing energy in the US, and yeah, I think it's a good investment. Yep. So here you get my allocation. I've got 13 investments, so you can see the little colors of what I've got. Tesla is my highest, then Vanguard, S&P, then the iShares Information Technology, then Apple, which these are in. Oh, it's just been overtaken by CCIV. That was very random, but yeah, you have those next. So CCIV, like I said, I have a lot of like belief in that. So it is one that I've invested quite a bit into because it can grow more and more. Like you saw here, I had quite a lot in it. Well, not a lot in it, but I've gained nearly more than half of what I've actually got. But anyway, next is the crypto. That's a small amount. Then iShares, I'm gonna boost this up, so in probably like 3 months that'll be up here, touching the top 5 as well, because I want it to be something that I have quite a bit in. Then eBay and the other ones that I have, so little companies, but I'm going to be putting more shares into these. Well, buying more shares every month. Like I said, I'm putting £200 in, so I'll put 100 straight into my pie, and then 100 where I think I want to allocate it for that month. And as you can see here again, in the past how long, it's gone up from like when, like probably 5 minutes ago, it was at 430 or something like that, and now it's at 496, nearly touching £5 or £500. So it'll be at 29%. Well, it's at 29%, hoping it hits 30. But since October, it means I've gained over £100 each month from investing, literally doing nothing. Instead of my money being in a bank, it's working for me here. Then, like I said, every month, an extra £200. It's gonna keep growing, and eventually, I can't wait for this to hit 1,000 gains return. And yeah, that's my portfolio, my pie. Let me go over that. My things, ignore the name, it was just a random thing. So overview, £245 made in it. I've invested 239. There's not much in it, so it hasn't actually returned that much. So the goal says here, the goal is 1 million, and currently that's how much I've gained from it. And yeah, I hope to have 1 million one day from this, and I'm going to keep investing and see what happens. So holdings, Apple, Tesla, and my 3 ETFs. Apple's currently down, these are still up. And yeah, it's just a little thing. If you are using Trading 212, make a pie. It's really helpful, especially if you don't want to actually be active. You just want to invest in things that you rely on or trust, and then just add an auto feature where it just puts the money in straight from your account each month. You've seen my portfolio, how it's worked. I've talked you through my stocks, and yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, like, subscribe, yeah, and thanks.